In today's episode,
a shifter will be possessed, a hill will be climbed, and a yoga ball will look hella fine. While it may sound like a portable toilet, the Toyota Pod is actually a concept car that looked like a portable toilet. In collaboration with Sony, the two companies built this car to have feelings. And yes, you heard that right. It had screens, cameras and artificial intelligence programmed into it to judge the driver's mood and could offer advice on how to feel better. The headlights in the front of the car were here to let the car express its own feelings. Red meaning angry, yellow happy, and blue sad. The best part? The radio antenna in the back would wag like a dog's tail when the car was happy. Ever wondered why being a race marshal is mostly a job for volunteers? Well, the views pay for themselves. Do you know how manufacturers test the interior of their car for reliability? They strap massive subwoofers and crank them up. But is this really true? Well, of course it's not true. The initial Tofu Delivery business won't be financially viable in real life due to fuel and tire usage. But who cares? We should do it in real life and pay more for the delivery. Lowriders are cool, but if something goes wrong with the suspension, it gets interesting. For example here, where it got stuck leaning to the right. How do you tow this away? Some of you may remember me talking about this car in an early episode of this series. This is a turbocharged, 4-rotor Formula 1 inspired Mazda Rx7. It not only sounds like a V8 era Formula 1 car, but it also has a lot of functional stuff inspired by Formula 1 cars. Stuff like the sequential transmission and the airbox. Taking part in a hill climb competition takes a lot of braveness. Taking part in a wet hill climb competition is basically a death wish, especially when the track barrier is a bunch of trees. This guy spun at 140 kilometers an hour and crashed into the forest. Luckily, he was okay.
there was a time where NASCAR thought it would be a good idea to race in wet mud without any windshield wipers.
That 34 truck, and the caution is out, and that is the problem right there.
One of my subscribers has a big turbo Mini Cooper and he took it for a drag race against a truck. $20,000 could buy you a new car, or you could get a smart and slam a Suzuki Hayabusa engine into it. The choice is yours. Thank you, dear race marshals, for making sure that racing is safe and funny.
Through fourth on the grid he was, and now the marshals are given the okay. There seems to be plenty down there.
This is Kool-Aid Man. Kool-Aid Man is a bit curvy, but that does not stop him from being cool. Did you know that Ferrari opened a bread baking business and needed a car to deliver out the bread? Well, I don't know if that's true, but at least they had a car that was called the Ferrari 250 GT SWB Breadvan. It was a one-off car built in 1962 to compete in the 24 Hours of Le Mans and other races. And it was actually pretty successful, winning a few races. Some machines need to change their air filter every few years, some of them need months, and some machines need it every few days. A dinghy is basically a tiny boat that is not really made for speed. Yet, there is something called the Dinghy Derby, where teams of 2 people navigate through narrow swamplands or creeks on the Murray River in southern Australia. The guy in the back steers the boat, and the guy in the front is responsible for weight distribution and the daily yoga ball exercise. Never trust a old, rusty-looking Audi.
There is a new way to be an a**. Instead of asking nicely with your indicator, just open your door and ram yourself into the other lane.
During a GT World Race in Imola this year, one of the McLarens had a small issue. The door opened itself and it basically acted like a massive parachute.
Our Motorsport Astons in the past, an effort. Oh, hello, big damage here. What's gone on?
Well, that door with the wind pressure ain't going to stay there terribly long, but not a pretty sight.
We all know what happens if we divide by 0, but what happens if 2 diesel trucks decide to blow black smoke on each other? Did you know that the Shelby Durango has a few angry cats under its hood? Just have a listen.
Alright, let's see if this video works.
I think that one of the best things that happens on a daily basis is turning on your car. The older it is, the more exciting it gets. And the better it sounds, most of the time. When you think of VTEC, you think of a Honda Civic, but there's more cars with that system, obviously. One of them is the Honda NSX. If you listen closely, you can actually hear VTEC kick in at higher RPMs. You've been laughing at Ford for selling a striped chassis, while those guys clearly knew what to do with a striped chassis. Slap a old minivan body on it and do some fat burnouts. You know you got some serious power when you can see the flames in your rearview mirror. And by the way, in this race the driver went from last to first.
We've seen a turbocharged lawnmower, oven, and now it is time for a turbocharged wheelchair. Whenever I look at off-road cars with massive off-road tires, I always think they would perform horribly on asphalt. Well, they still do, it's true, but you can still have fun with them. In this video you will see something that looks like a train with tractor wheels going up a hill. But what is going on? Well, what the driver is trying to achieve is to hold the vehicle with just the engine/clutch without using the brakes. One of my subscribers has a turbocharged Volvo with two-step. I don't think I need to say more. Do trains even count as automotives? Whatever, here is one driving through freshly laid asphalt at a train crossing. The ZR1 C4 Corvette had an engine developed by a different car manufacturer. The 5.7-liter V8 was made by Lotus and it's considered to be one of the rarest engines you can find in a production car. 370 horsepower and 370 pound-foot of torque, and a lovely sound guaranteed. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want more, check out my second channel. Have a nice day.
That doesn't make sense.